Namaste, one and all. Welcome back to your favorite show with your favorite bro. Back one more time on this auspicious day. A happiest of Dase to all my Nepalese brothers, sisters, all across the globe. I hope you guys have a tremendous time. I hope you guys get all the blessings. Yeah, I just hope you guys had a fantastic day, a fantastic festival time, and you guys keep on prospering, and yeah, all the good stuff, and not just for my Nepalese brothers and sisters. It actually does apply to everybody. A happy Dasai to everybody. Yeah, let's kick it off. Thursday night football on Prime. It's on with Kaylee, with Kirk, with Al, with the gang pre and post game show. It should be going down shortly. Fortunately, not in the Bay. It is down in LA in this one. 3-1 LA Rams hosting the 3-1 San Francisco 49ers in Rams house in this one. Let's not take too much time. I think it's pretty apparent. Yeah, we're good rocking with the Rams. I think they are still like a 7, 8.5 point favorite. If you get deeper into gambling or whatever, that if that's the reason why you're here with the boy, shout out to you, and whatever the future holds for you. But yeah, I think they are the favorites in this one, and for a reason. They're 3-1. Could have easily been 4-0 if that blocked field goal against Philadelphia did not happen. Shout out Jordan Davis. On the other side, for the Niners, they're just like marred with injuries. I think they might have rushed back Brock Purdy because of all the noise surrounding how good or how well Mac Jones was playing. Purdy just got his contract. I guess they didn't want knowing the history of Mac and Kyle Shanahan. Maybe they didn't want like that thing to linger, so they maybe might have rushed him back. Got himself hurt again, or maybe they're just being precautionary on a short week. Maybe if you think about it, they probably should have given him this break until after this week, and then he comes back the following week. He'll probably be back healthier. Hopefully, this doesn't linger because you don't want to see terrible quarterback play for any team. But yeah, talk about quarterback play. You have Matthew Stafford on one side against Mac Jones. Starter, sure, but I mean, you're going up against a Super Bowl champion. I'm not gonna doubt him. Why else? Let's see. The only real injury for the Rams, notable injury, is probably at right tackle. That's going to be tough because Rob Havenstein is not just like offensive tackle, but he's also one of their captains, if I'm not mistaken. If not, he is one of their leaders, one of their old veterans. Now that Aaron Donald's out of the building, a lot of the older veterans that Sean McVay has gone to the Super Bowl with. I mean, outside of really quarterback, now that you think about it, most of the guys have been changed already. And this is like a new iteration of the team. And for Puka Nakua, I think it's going to be, they're kind of setting it up for the next quarterback. Maybe it's Arch Manning, who knows? For him to kind of come over and then take over and then, go on to the next phase of the Rams. Yeah, for the Niners in this one, actually doing some research, I realized they actually have the most depth at wide receiver out of probably every team in the National Football League. It's interesting. Sky Moore, Demarcus Robinson, they're just picking up I mean, in a sense, disregarded pieces across the league, but they're still talented, they're still at times, at moments, they could still show out. Are they going to be able to put games together, seasons together to get into greatness? That's where it differs. That's when you get turned into great, GOAT, and all those debates. That's when it changes. That's why, I mean, yeah, like Rams, I know Sean McVay, I do believe he's 10-6, 10-7 against Kyle Shanahan. In a middle period where Rams kind of had a decline, Shanahan started sweeping the series and picked it up early. Now I think that has kind of turned its tide since the NFC Championship. Yeah, I think coming from the same system, they both know what they're going to run. Being in the same division, they know what they want to do. I think it's going to be ball controlled. It's going to be defensive, heavy. even on defensive end, you have Akilo Witherspoon at defensive back, who's unfortunately on IR currently, but he has been with the Niners previously. He knows, like I do believe he played with Saleh back in that time of the Niners and that iteration of the Niners team. So yeah, I think he has some, maybe he has some insights that he could kind of drop into the team meeting this week. Jimmy Garoppolo, another former 49er, on the LA Rams squad right now. So it should be interesting to see, like, if those guys have some, hidden gems against Kyle Shanahan, against Robert Saleh. Also, it might just get down to a kicking battle. Eddie Pinheiro now, I think Niners have a little bit more trust in him than they did with Moody. It could get down to I do believe his name's Joshua Carty. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken with your first name. Carty, the kicker for the Niners, for the Rams. I apologize. He should be an intriguing one, I guess, just to say, intriguing prospect to look at. I didn't want to call him a prospect because he's not really a prospect, but intriguing player to keep an eye on, because how does he bounce back from that blocked field goal? Does he bounce back with a game winner? Does he bounce back missing kicks? Like, how does that go? Because kicking's going to be a lot more mental up in here. You guys just saw my note. Let me get into my cheat sheet really quickly. Okay, Niners 3-1, Rams 3-1, right? Boom. Total yards per game. Niners are at 368, Rams are at 388. So about a 20-yard difference between the two. Yards allowed by the defense. 280 for the Niners, 284.5. So just right 4 or 5 yards, 1 first down, 1 rush right there. So ball control is going to be very heavy. Run game, very heavy, especially with the weapons and quarterback missing for the Niners. Points per game, Niners at 20. Opponents are scoring about 18.8. So almost just like a 1.2 points per game difference. That's a very, very thin line margin. I mean, like I mentioned, you're playing with the backups almost everywhere offensively, so it's kind of understood, but the margins are very small, and in the divisional game, you never know what happens. On the other side, for the Rams, 284.5, like I mentioned, for defense, yards allowed per game, points per game, we're looking at about 25 points per game, so they're scoring in bunches. Puka Nacua, you have Devontae Adams, you got weapons. Opponents' points per game, it's at about 20. It's a little bit more than the Niners. Secondary, you might have some questions there. Kobe Durant's there, but he's not a household name. They got Emmanuel Forbes. I do believe he starts on the opposite end when Akilo's out right now. Intriguing prospect, but I don't think he's, like emerged just yet. Those guys gonna have a, possibly a long night, but we'll see what happens there. What else do I have to mention? I think, that pretty much kind of sums them up. Let me just go into rankings really quickly as I bid farewell to you guys. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys go on to have a fantastic week. Last weekend, let's say, was not that great for our record, but we're still keeping it pushing. We're still at over 500 for the cumulative and for just the season itself as well. So we keep it pushing. As long as it's not negative, it's a positive. Niners offense are ranked pass-wise second, rush-wise 28th. So like I mentioned, if you're trying to, run the ball, run the clock, you're kind of suffering there, SF. You're kind of suffering there. Total offense is ranked 5th. Niners defense, pass game 6th, rush 17th. Total defense is about tied for 5th. So top 5 offense, top 5 defense, you would think they would win. But on the other side, for the Rams, passing-wise, they're ranked 3rd. Rushing-wise, they're ranked 13th. I do want to mention this. Jonah Jackson got traded after, being a prize free agent. But Shelton, Kevin Dotson, and Steve Avila, when they are healthy, I think they are top 10 best interior group. Kansas City ruled with that, with Joe Tooney. You got Creed Humphrey, and you had Trey Smith. But yeah, like when you have a trio like that, and you have Kyron Williams running the ball, Blake Corum running the ball behind that, two like hard hitting type of backs. They kind of veered off a little bit, in a sense, from a zone scheme to like a straight up. But they still mix in those zones, so that's what makes their offense kind of unpredictable. But let me kind of go back to the Rams defense with the rankings real quick. Their passing defense is ranked 9th. Their rushing defense ranked 10th. So even their total defense is ranked 9th overall. So, it's a tough battle, top 5 offense defense versus a top 10 offense defense in division. Always going to be, very, very intriguing. Early last season, I do believe it was in week 3, it was a 27-24 scoreline. That might have been on a Sunday. Maybe, I don't think it was a Monday, probably a Sunday. That was in Rams house as well. So maybe, do I want something similar to that? Yes. But we'll see what happens. You already know. I'm going to catch y'all. I'm going to be here back on Sunday. Once again, happy Dashain and love.